one, two, three, four, 5 windows up currently. So that's how life is life in. So hopefully this shit works on everything. If y'all can't hear me, let me know. If the music is too loud whenever I play it, let me know. With that being stated, like I was saying, so I know I told y'all that I was only gonna do credit 1 day out of the week. However, the homie was just like, "Nah, fam, you need to do credit just about every day because this is shit that people need, and because they're continually asking you questions about the CPs and everything. Lock in." With that being stated, y'all already know I love going above and beyond. So I went ahead, got back in touch with my suppliers and everybody else, and the deals are back up. So you looking to get business credit, personal credit, all that shit, I'm back in. However, my prices ain't for everybody. Like this is not the $100, $200 club. You will need money to fuck with me. That's that. My prices are the prices. What fucking DJ Khaled these people used to say? Yesterday's price and today's price. The prices that are listed on most of the stuff that you guys are seeing was from 2023, 24 and below. Those prices are not the same anymore. So definitely please do keep that in mind. And it's not that all the prices are changing. It's just, again, because of social media and because of how they've portrayed certain tools that you have to use to advance in life, it's now made it harder for everyone else essentially to go from point A to point B. So with that being stated, if you're individual, we're going to start off with the business credit first, right? So if you're somebody that needs business credit, meaning you have a business, it's established, it's an LLC, a corporation, so S Corp, C Corp, all of that shit, right? If you have a business and you need funding, this is where the fuck I come into your life and make your life great. Because then you're going to hit me up and say, hey, I need a primary business trade line, not an add on to somebody's account, none of that shit. This is a primary business trade line. So it's in the name of your business. So if your business is Slaps Balls or some shit, Slaps Balls is going to have primary business account under their name. So for example, let's say you wanted a 30K business line. That 30K business line is going to port to Equifax, Experian, and SBFE. And if you don't know what SBFE is, Small Business Financial Exchange, that's where your business credit profile also lives. So I have 30K loans, and those are going to be primary loans that's reported to your business. No, these are not personal, it's business. So we got 30K loans, we got 50K loans, we got 100K loans, we got 200K loans, and we got 300K financial line of credit. All this basically does is going on to your business credit, and it's coming up to show that you are an individual that has a good line of credit. So at that point, whatever the fuck you want to buy, you'll be able to buy it under your business name. Now, is it something that I would say if you built your business 2-3 months ago to go ahead and do it? No. I would say 6 months into a year. And again, this is subjective depending on the business that you have. So if you have a business that has a good turnover, or and when I say turnover, like a ROI. So if you know that you're making if you know like, yo, my business makes like, 20, 30K a month type shit, then I'd say look into the 50K trade line or look into the 100K trade line. You want your trade lines to match what your business is bringing in. You feel me? You don't want to be out here looking scammy on paper with your business type shit. So if you're a brand new business, I wouldn't suggest off rip to go ahead and add a 30K trade line to your business. These people are very smart. You feel me? Now, let's say you started your business and you're doing a shell corp business. So you basically bought an entity that already had years behind it. So let's say you went and you bought like a Shell gas station or something, and that business was already established for like 5 or 6 years. Then I would say, hey, go in with any one of the loans, really, any one of the lines of credit, because it's going to make your business look good. So the business lines of credit are primary business trade lines. It does state on your business. My trade lines are going to range from $3,000 up to $15K. And like I said, all of this information is changed over, because I believe before the 15K line was like a 10K line. but all this stuff has been updated to match what is currently taking place present day. So once you go in and we add the business trade line to your business, everything is going to report to Equifax, Experian, the Small Business Financial Exchange, and it's all a business trade line. No, this is not a personal trade line. So no, you cannot get this on your personal credit. Yes, I have trade lines that are for your specific credit, but this is business related. Now, with the business trade line, being to the fact that you're adding it to your business, it allows you to qualify for other funding. This is how businesses get money. This is how Trump does what Trump does. You feel me? So I'm here to teach y'all how to do like white people shit and what is it? Leverage it to your fullest. You feel me? So you want to make sure that when you're adding these trade lines, you know exactly what the fuck you're adding it for and what you're going in to do to make sure that you're using the funds accurately. Now, the trade lines, they do take days to post. So for example, SBFE, it takes up to 30 days for it to post. So for example, if you bought a trade line today on the 18th of June, don't fucking call me on the 24th or the 25th and be like, oh my God, why didn't it post? Again, these are estimated times for posting. So that means that at any time, it can get posted before or after. However, they have an allotted window for when it'll be posted. So SBFE, up to 30 days. Experian could take 45. So it reports in 45 days, but it could take up to 60 days to post. I'm sorry, that's Equifax. Experian is 60 days to deliver and then up to 75 days to post. So with that being said, once I submit your business information, so let's say I submit it today again, you're going to count 30 days from today. And of course, these are business days, guys, and excluding holidays, excluding whatever else we got going on that would not put somebody in the office to work on that day, exclude those days. So 30 business days for SBFE for it to report and show up. So when you pull up your business credit report, it's going to say, let's say you bought the 50K line. It's going to show 50K line of credit on SBFE, right? Then let's say you wait a couple more days, because then in 45 to 60 days, that's when it's going to report to Equifax. That's when you're going to see your 50K on Equifax. Then from there, you have 60 to 75 days. Again, it can happen sooner. However, I still put the caveat on there that shit takes time, because a lot of y'all be like, oh, I need this immediately. And it's like, that's not how life works. I'm sorry. So please, please, please keep in mind that everything does take time. We do use all your business information. So with that, we'll need your full name. I will need your phone number. Again, because I have to reach out to you. That's if I have to reach out to you type shit. Apart from that, we'll just need your business, is your LLC information or your S Corp information, your federal tax ID, business address, and the date that the business essentially was started. Now, what you could also do is go to your Secretary of State, download that introduction PDF to your business, send me that. That literally has all the information. We get everything submitted for you. Now, keep in mind, again, our trade lines do range from $4,000 up to $15K. The more the money, the higher the trade line. Best of all, these trade lines, they do not close, they don't fall off, and they don't disappear. So if somebody's selling you business credit and they're not giving you what I'm giving you, I wouldn't suggest that you buy with them, because when I can tell you, hey, my shit's not going to close, my shit's not going to fall off, my shit's not going to disappear, it's going to stay on your credit for as long as you have the business, that's going to be a great buy. All right. So definitely, if you guys want to connect with me, again, I'm not the person where if you don't have funds for you to shop with, because the prices don't change. Do I have sales every once in a while? It's not something that I also promote, because of the simple fact of, bitch, I'm human like everybody else. And I'm the type of person where if I want it, I'm going to go get it. And the price don't matter. I'm a Taurus. So price to me is not a problem. If I want it, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to get it. And I know other individuals that have that same mindset where they're like, oh, I'm broke. But then you see them rocking the flyest shit the next day, or they have some concert. Bruh, life before that, life after that, I've seen it all. You feel me? So yes, these are great fucking tools, because if you're having issues even with your personal credit and you create your business, add the business trade lines, you're going to be able to max out. You, at that point, buy your car in your business name, buy your house in your business name, bitch, you actually get a lot more incentives. Yeah, so I'm gonna need y'all to tap in and learn what's gonna work great for you. And of course, while you're doing that, also still use your personal credit to attain stuff along the way. But if you could have 2 forms of credit that you're able to use, why would you not want to do that? You feel me? So if you guys are ever on the market for business trade lines, that's going to be trade lines that's attached to your business. Let me know. And of course, I do not suggest that if your business is 6 months or younger to add these trade lines, because again, I would not be doing you I would be doing you a disservice to tell you to go spend this money to buy trade lines. However, if your business is 6 months and you're pushing out 40, 50K a month, then definitely go ahead and hop on and buy the trade lines, because then the trade lines at that point is going to make sense for you. You feel me? But if you're not making a lot of money off rip, don't do it. During this time, I definitely highly suggest that a lot of people will tell you to do like Walmart cards and Home Depot cards and all that shit. Those are great, but those don't move your business. If you can, get into whatever banking institution that you have with your business, and then start to get business loans through that company to help grow your business credit. There are other ways to like report business credit to help you move up. I don't know if Duns and Bradstreet is still a shit. It's still a shit. It's still a thing. Being to the fact of, I believe they were trying to go away with the Duns and Bradstreet number, because I was going to tell you ways that you could check it. I know that was one way back in the day. So I'll verify that information still, and I'll get back to y'all if Duns and Bradstreet is still a thing. If it's not, then we'll speak about that. However, if you could get a Duns and Bradstreet account, it tells you the I don't want to say the age of your business. It tells you the risk level of your business. So if your business makes money, if you have any late payments, if you're looking to run into any kind of default shit, it gets reported there. So you're able to pull that information up. So again, remember, we have from 30, our loans range from, yes, I did get rid of the 1K, 10K, 5K. Those loans don't exist anymore. So please don't ask me about it. Now I only have 30, 50, 100, and 200K. So imagine what your business would look like on paper at you reporting, I got a 30K line of credit with Equifax, Experian, SBFE. I got a 50 line of credit, 100 line of credit, whatever the fuck you want, we can make it happen. Again, just make sure that your business is seasoned and that you would actually be able to use that information to do what you need. And best of all, like I said, they don't close. If you guys know what trade lines normally do, trade lines close. Being to the fact that these are primary trade lines, it's not rented, it's not leased. These are going to be in your business name. It's not going to fall off. It's not going to expire. It's not going to disappear. That will always be on your business line of credit as long as you have that business open. And of course, if you open multiple businesses, come fuck with me, because I got multiple fucking credit lines that you're able to add to the different businesses to where you're able to use it continuously to get from point A to point B. So that's that. Now let's jump into the CPs. CPs. Guys, get out my fucking inbox with CPs are fraud. I get it. Everybody on fucking TikTok that's explaining how CPs work, I've heard different variations of it. This is also why I say to y'all, if you don't want to shop with me, hire me to ask the questions to the people that you're buying your CPs from, because once they give me the information, I regurgitate it to you. If the shit makes sense, I'll tell you it makes sense. Shop with them. However, still use your own discernment. You feel me? With that being stated, a lot of people are saying, oh, this and... Bro, if it's not in your name, yes, that's fraud. That's common sense. I don't know how else to break it down or how else to explain it. If something is not in your name, it's fraud. That's how that works. Why does the government not like CPs? Because the simple fact of you have people on the internet telling you, oh, run off on the plug, you don't have to pay any bills, all types of shit. I'll never fucking promote that shit. I love paying bills. And why do I love paying bills? The more bills you pay, the more money you have. That's how I look at bills, because guess what? It's coming out and it's going in. It's coming out, it's going in. If I'm not paying bills, something's fucking wrong. You feel me? So paying bills is a great fucking tool, at least for me, because I'm giving back to somebody. Not only am I giving back, but I'm receiving a service. I've never looked at paying bills as a bad thing. When I was broke, I did have an issue with it because I was like, fuck, why bills keep coming around so much and my pockets ain't equaling what I'm spending? Then it hit me like, bitch, you're the one that keeps spending. Bills ain't coming if you're not spending, which I've also confirmed. Life after debt in 2 years, not touching corporate America. I control how much I spend. I control what I do. I control everything. So with that, this is where now I started watching these people's like CPs when they would have their lives. A lot of individuals give out great, great information. But then when you start to ask certain questions, they would get angry or it's unnecessary. Think of a CP as the individual that is in witness protection. If you go into witness protection or anything that goes with the government to where you have to change your identity, they're giving you a new social security number with a different name. Think of your CP as you're getting a different, SS number, but it's your name. So this is why you'll see a lot of people tell you, oh, well, I have four CPs. I have this, I have that. I know tons of people that have multiple different CPs, and these are lawyers, doctors. I'm from Miami. So you already know what time it is. Miami is a place where miracles happen. That's the best way I could fucking put it. Because when I tell people I'm from Miami, I'm like, bro, Miami is different. Like, it's different. So don't ever think of CPs as a negative thing. It's a tool that some people might need. And then again, some people might not need it. When you speak to me and you're telling me what's going on with your credit, I'm not ever going to fucking tell you, off rip, go get a CP. I'm going to tell you, fix your credit. I've worked with single moms, and I say single moms because guess what? They never thought they were going to get fucked over by their significant other, and guess what? Now here it is. You got fucked over by your significant other, and I'm glad I'm here to help get you from point A to point B and get you moved into a property. So when people speak about CPs, they don't speak about the goodness of that, because a lot of times, a lot of the individuals that I've worked with, especially some of the single moms, they'll get into these relationships and these people will be like, oh, I'm going to do this, shit goes left. Now they're fucked. So now that they're fucked, they don't have credit, they don't have this, they don't have that, or if they have the credit, it's bad credit, all this shit. This is where now here it is. This tool comes into place to where you and your kids can have a place to live. And then I'm here to educate you like, yo, make sure you pay your bills on time. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. So I still keep up on you. Someone that is crazy as fuck. So here it is. What is it? March of 2024, I got into the accident, right? With apparently, this is I don't remember shit. Somewhere along the line, I did a CP for somebody. And I'm like, me with fucking brain damage did a CP? And the person was like, yeah, you did a phenomenal job. I got approved and everything. And I'm like, okay. So here it is now. This person hit me up legit shit yesterday and was like, yo, I got 2 places with my CP. And I'm like, you got 2 places? All right. And, she's like, yeah, everything that you told me, I've been implementing it. And I've been doing this and I've been doing that. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, all right, that's what's up. Like, there's actual individuals out here that will use the tool and use it correctly. So yes, she got a 2nd place, but now she's like, she's going to do Airbnb. And because I used to do Airbnb, she's like, yo, I just want you to either run it. And I'm like, you want me to run? She's like, bruh, I just need you to take the weight off of me. After I got done with her, she's like, yeah, so, I want to set up Airbnb with it and everything else. Tap in with me. I get off the phone with her. I hit up another homie. Yo, so I'm looking to start my business. I know you do business loans. What? Yo, I just need you to run the business. And I'm like, guys, I literally, I said, universe, I know I asked to get back in the streets, but I'm not trying to get back in the streets like this, broski. I don't want to be taking on other people's shit, not yet. So yeah, I'm excited as fuck and elated as fuck to be jumping back into those 2 areas, because of the simple fact that that's what I was doing before, especially Airbnb. Like, bitch, you want to make money? Airbnb, even if it's a room in your fucking house, just make sure that whoever the fuck is going to stay in your house feels like a guest, and they're going to keep referring people to you, like that type shit. But yeah, neither here nor there. CPNs are always going to be great for you to get from point A to point B, as long as you don't ruin it and you don't fuck it up like how you fuck up your credit. And I always tell you, if you're going to start with a CP, fix your credit, because there's nothing wrong with having multiple streams of income, multiple lines of credit that will actually work in your favor. Any kind of money you borrow, pay it the fuck back. CP, credit, whatever the fuck it is. You borrow the money, pay it back. That's the whole point of why your credit was ruined in the first place. You feel me? You're getting shit that you can't afford. My personal rule of thumb, I don't give away anything that I know I'm going to want back in a couple of hours. That also goes with spending. I didn't swipe my credit card if I know, fuck, I can't pay at least half of what, depending on the cost. If I can't pay back a half of that shit before the close date, I'm not spending. So when I have that money, I'm gonna come back and spend. So with that being said, CP packages completely changed. I have a bunch of different packages and also have different trade lines that are going to be, best of all, my trade lines now are all gonna stay for 60 days. Yes. Not 30, not 40 or 45, 60 days. So before, remember, if we had the issues with the trade lines, I'd have to go back and I have to basically rebuy you a trade line and all this other shit. Yeah, now we are varying from all of that. Trade lines are going to be 60 days. And yes, the prices are a little bit more influxed compared to what it was before. However, I know people that's out here selling fucking 30-day trade lines for $1,000 and you don't know if it's going to post. My trade lines post, trust me. The credit limits also are pretty dope. I have anywhere from $5,000 up. I'm sorry. The lowest trade line I have is $4,500. That's a Wells Fargo. And my highest is 23. What is this? 23K is my highest. And that's also, oh no, I lied. I have a Barclays at 25K. That would be my highest, and that was open in 2021. However, the one that's for 23K was open in 2012. So shit like that is where you got to figure out, okay, do I want the years or do I want the amount? You feel me? Because if I'm looking for years of credit, I'm getting the one that has the 23K that was open in 2012 over the one that is, what is that? I said 25K open in 2021. I'd go with the one that's 12 years from that was open in 2012. So with that, definitely type in with me. Honestly, I believe at this point, all my trade lines are more than likely going to be anywhere from maybe on the low end. Low end, we're looking at maybe 777, maybe 777 low end. High end, it will be $1,000. At the end of the day, like I said, all these lines are going to stay on your credit profile for 60 days. These are not permanent lines. So like the business credit, it gave you the opportunity where the business credit, it's going to stay on your credit. So with the business trade lines, those are permanent trade lines, primary trade lines for your business. The trade lines for your credit is not permanent. These are authorized users. So you're basically buying a slot on someone's credit card and you're using that information as if it's your information. So you're basically using it for leverage. All right. And then of course, once you use that for leverage, you then go ahead and either add more credit that's in your name or, I mean, honestly, that's the smartest thing to do. Add more credit that's in your name. Also, please do keep in mind, when it comes to the when it comes to the authorized user trade lines, they do fall off. So remember, I was telling y'all with the business trade lines, being to the fact that it's permanent trade lines, they're not going to fall off. The ones for the social, they fall off. Okay. So definitely, please keep that in mind. As you can see, I have very strong credit limit. I'm not doing no $500 limit cards or any of that anymore. Those are cool. However, I was having a lot of issues with individuals or it was like, oh, this didn't post or that didn't post. So now, yes, you're paying, but you're paying for, what is it? You're literally paying for the convenience of knowing, hey, I don't have to stress and I don't have to worry about if my trade line is going to post or if it doesn't post, this person's not going to speak to me anymore. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like I said, I'm the person that you shop with when you know you have money and when you know you're ready to go. If you're shopping with me before, don't do it because it doesn't make sense. and the prices are always going to be the prices. So with the CP packages, like I said, anything that you're hearing on the internet about how it's a negative thing, it's a negative thing because the government cannot control CPNs. And when I say they can't control CPNs, unless you physically go and you register your CPN with the IRS, they're not able to track the CPN. So this is why they don't like it. Apart from that, the CPN is a great tool. Like I said, I've helped a ton of fucking people, especially women who once thought that they were going to be in the greatest relationship of life. They end up getting fucked, and now they have absolutely nothing. CPNs are the shit, because guess what? I was able to get you a car. I'm able to get you a house. I'm able to get you whatever fuck you want, as long as you follow my guidelines and you don't go fucking yourself. You feel me? So yeah, but legit shit, tap in with me on that. Please do keep in mind that the trade lines also that are for your personal credit, they're always going to have a positive payment history. So for example, holy fuck, I got to hit up another one of my clients, because she was telling me like, she has 75% of her credit used. And I said, that's what's killing your credit, because you know, when your usage, when your debt to income ratio on your credit, when that's too high, that also drops your credit score. So can you imagine if hypothetically she had, let's say she has $10,000 or whatever, and then she adds, let's say, the 25K trade line. When she adds that 25K trade line, now that's probably going to take her usage from that, whatever it is, down to like 20 or 30, which would be phenomenal. So that's not going to raise her credit score, because it makes it look like she's really fucking good with money type shit. So those are where trade lines come in, and that's how you manage your credit. However, again, trade lines fall off. So while this is on, while that trade line is on your account, you want to go ahead and start applying for credit or start doing whatever you need to do. But step Benita, how are you guys doing? Y'all check out Benita's. Getting this started. Anytime I get this started, check out the Shiv Butter line. Shiv Butter is fucking awesome, by the way, guys. Like, I haven't used it yet because I'm sweating balls right now. So yeah, once I'm showered and shit, I'm gonna lotion and show it to y'all. By the way, the individual that said I need to do outside cameos, because I did a video the other day. This is a sidebar conversation, by the way. So I did a video last week, or probably this week, and I was putting on the shea butter, but I was doing it outside. And somebody DM'd me and was like, bro, you should do like a whole body meltdown with the butter. And I'm like, that might sound like a really good idea. I'm a tap in. So yeah, I'm definitely probably gonna tap in with that. But it's crazy as fuck to know that people be enjoying my content when I'm out here like, oh, that was a stupid content to post the shit. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So let's say you wanted to get a CP and you needed an apartment package, okay? When I make your apartment package, I'm making your apartment package as if you're an individual that is an active, living, breathing person. So your CP looks like a real fucking person. Now, with that being stated, you get everything with it. So when I say you get everything, you're going to get a trade line. It's going to be aged for at least 3 years or more, right? Because your CP, if somebody's selling you a CP with no credit score, no primary records, no nothing on there, that's a pointless fucking CP. Throw it in the trash. So you want to make sure that you have a trade line. Make sure it's over a certain amount of years. Because again, if you're not saying there's nothing wrong, because there's a bunch of late bloomers out here in this world, right? But can you imagine if you're 35 and you're coming out there and you have one trade line on your account? Who's going to approve you? You feel me? So this is where now I sit down and do my due diligence, and I build out your profile to where it's going to match an individual that's 45, you have a government job or whatever fucking job you tell me that you have, I'm matching your paperwork to match that. That's how my services work. So you get your CP. It's tri-merge. What tri-merge mean is that, let's say they go and they search, let's say your name is Bentley Wright. They go and they search Bentley Wright. They're going to find Bentley Wright, which would be you. And again, even though it's a new person, they're going to have a shit ton of information as if they had searched Bentley Wright, which would have been your first Bentley Wright. You feel me? So if there was two, if I had to create another CP from myself, it's gonna look like, holy shit, PG's been doing this, and this. Like, I make you look very professional, very real. The credit line that I put on there is automatically off rip gonna be a 10K credit line or more. So again, I'm making you look proficient and professional. You feel me? You're not coming out with 500 credit limit here or whatever fucking bullshit that they be putting on to start you off. No, we're going hard body and we go big. The average scores on those could start anywhere from 675 up to like 700 and up. And I only said that because of the simple fact of, even though you might add a trade line that has a lot of years, a lot of years and a lot of amount, right? The amount might be big. Some people might think because they got a 50K line that should automatically give them a 700 credit score. That's not how credit works. You have to have multiple credit cards, loans, and all that shit has to report to show that you're proficient and you're able to manage credit. That's pretty much how that, and the breakdown on the ratio also would give you the score. So because we don't know what the score is going to be, even though it's a brand new person that we're building, I can't tell you, yeah, you're going to have a 700 credit score off rip. Because why? I've done other CPs brand new out off the gate and their score would be like 625, 630. Do I stress whenever it's that low? No, because I know you're fucking going to get approved because of the simple fact of, yes, it's a low 600, but based on what's on here, you're still going to get approved. And especially if you're doing like an apartment or a car or some shit like that, you're going to get approved. Big boy stuff, then we got to keep building it. You feel me? So that also comes, if you would like, you could get a digital SSN card. I highly, highly suggest getting the digital SSN card. Yes, that's an extra cost, or I could just go ahead and, somebody was telling me just put everything all in the cost, and I'm like, yo, some people don't like the extra card. Do I suggest you not getting the card? I definitely would not, but if you want to fake it till you make it, then that's on you. So all the packages, essentially, if you want the digital Social Security, you'll be able to get that. But from there, we pretty much move up into the next realm. So for the car package, it'll be the same process. It's only going to have the one trade line. However, the credit limit on that would be either 20 to like 50K, because it's not moving you up on that. The car package does take at least 2 weeks to complete because I have to wait to see if the trade lines are going to post. And of course, same thing with your credit. With your credit score could be in the low 6 or high 6 or up. We don't know what the credit score might be. So again, this is why I don't tell you off rip, you're going to have this or you're going to have that. Once you get into like our bronze package, those are going to be the ones that have trade lines that are going to be 5 to 8 years, essentially, with the trade lines. And again, you want to get trade lines that's going to make sense. So let's say you're the person that say, yo, I want to go buy a Benz. Please don't come at me with no, you want a CP package that has a 10K credit limit. Make it make sense, Linda. So if you want to go buy a Benz, then I expect for you to know, yo, you're coming out of pocket at least $3,500, because when you do that, I'm able to tri-merge you. I'm adding 4 trade lines. So you're not getting 1, 2, or no, you're getting 4 trade lines. And on top of that, you're going to have a credit line that's going to be over, what, 90K at that point, based on the trade lines that we're going to add. That does take me up to 30 days to build out that account. Now that for sure I can tell you, yo, your credit score is going to be 750 or higher, based on the amount of trade lines that will be added. And then of course the combined credit limit is going to also skyrocket you into the next category for where your credit score would be in the high 7s, 8s. And with that one, the Social Security is included because of everything that's already being done on that. If you do need like a temporary address, because a lot of times individuals mix their accounts, do not mix. Don't be lazy. One time I tell you, say your CPN need fit, people used to be like, oh my God, why the fuck do you have so many phones? Bro, you need multiple phones. Don't have one phone. If you have one phone, this is not a game for you, because that's how you get caught up. If you're going to be lazy and if you're going to say you're only going to do one of everything, yes, there's people that's out there that'll tell you, oh, just use your same information for everything. The shit's going to merge. It's going to link, because why? You're then going to go ahead. Let's say you put your phone number that you've been using for years. So for example, I have a phone number that I've had since 2000, singular, bomba class. When I tell you I used to get my ass handed to me, I used to get my ass handed to me. Y'all remember the fucking, I'll never forget, Motorola had just come out with the flip phone. I thought I was the shit. Ran up my aunt's bill to like fucking $3,000 something. Got my ass handed to me. First and last day ever fucking having a phone. And I was like, damn, that ended quick. But that's how long I've had the fucking number for. And that number, I will never give that fucking number to just about anybody, because in my head, I'm like, fuck, okay, any creditor, anybody get this shit, that's me. Bitch, if you ever have that number, that's PG. So you want to make sure that you separate your numbers, separate all your information. Every entity that you decide that you're going to be or become, get a phone number, get an email address, get an address for it. Also, if you have ever sent messages, I'm sorry, not messages, if you ever sent mail, so for example, let's say you have a friend and you use that friend's house once upon a time to ever send mail there, don't use that address as your CP address. That is a bad fucking idea, because if you look at your credit profile, that address is somewhere on one of those profiles, you feel me? Experian somewhere along the lines. Also, please do keep in mind, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are not the only fucking credit bureaus. They are the big three for a reason. However, if you fucking search credit bureaus, I promise you, one time I searched it up and I think it was like 100 and something of them. There was like a whole fucking list. So just keep that in mind, especially for people that do rentals. The rental world is crazy as fuck with the amount of people that they have that report on you just specifically for rent. So you don't want to have any of that stuff linked for any reason. Because that would, you'd end up losing your CP for just silly things. So keep everything separated. Keep your phone number separate, your email, your phone number, your email, the address, and anything that's going to be related to that CP, keep it separate. Now, a lot of times, a lot of individuals will tell you to not use your driver's license with your CP. So what are you going to use? At the end of the day, like I said, it's you. However, when you're filling out your paperwork, you should know which quote unquote social security you're going to be using to fulfill what you need to fulfill. You need to use your own common sense to know how you're going to navigate through this shit. You feel me? Like, just use your common sense. And if you have to think about it, don't do it. Because this is how people end up getting caught up in shit where it's just like, oh, damn, or oh, this or oh, that. Like, you need to be very vigilant with what you decide that you're going to get into. Blank CPs. People keep asking me about it. A blank CP means absolutely fucking nothing. You can't do anything with it. Do I sell blank CPs? Yes. Those are 500, and that's literally just a fucking number that you're getting. That's it. Nothing else is done to it. It is tri-merge. So yes, if they were to search your CP, it does show up in the system, but absolutely nothing else comes on it. No credit score, no trade line, none of that is on there. It's a blank CP for a reason. A lot of individuals that normally use blank CPs, if you need that, then they know what to do, and then they'll contact me, and I'm like, all right, cool. But if you're a regular individual that don't know nothing about CPs, a blank CP is not going to do anything for you. Please stop fucking being cheap. Buy something that makes sense, that you could actually use if needed. What else? The digital SS cards, those are within 24 hours. So those are going to literally have the number. So let's say you have someone who sold you your CP, but they didn't give you a digital social. I'm sorry. Yeah, a digital social. I could pretty much go ahead and make the card for you. It does take me at least 24 hours. I'm going to put on there. Yeah, let's do 24 hours, or fuck it. Let's do 72 hours turnaround for everything, unless I state otherwise. But 24 would be my major. 24 would be my earliest cutoff. 72 would be my longest. So if someone sold you CP and you don't have the social, or if you need the social, that's where I would come in. Or if you don't want to shop with me and somebody's telling you X, Y, and Z, you would pay me to verify the information, because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't I don't come up off of you not being able to get what you need, essentially. However, I know that my prices are my prices, and a lot of individuals can't afford it. So I'll help you attain what you need to attain. Just, yeah, you're gonna pay me to ask the questions that need to be asked, and then I'll give you my feedback on how I believe that person's interaction was, and then it's for you to use your discernment if you want to carry on with them. All right. From there, yes, if you need, we do provide digital ID. So what's a digital ID? You can use your regular driver's license. However, let's say you want an ID for whatever fucking state, that could also be provided for you. Payment methods. So I no longer do bank deposits because people are weird and they'll put fake checks into your accounts and shit. And I ain't trying to pull up on nobody. So I don't do bank deposits anymore. I don't do wire transfers anymore. Shout out to my ex that fucked me over and took all my money. That's why we don't do wire transfers anymore. What else? And Zelle is a question mark on that, but we do Bitcoin or what's that shit? Cash App, which I have a question mark beside Cash App. So we're still going to keep a question mark beside Cash App. What else I got to go over with y'all? So yes, trade lines. Trade lines are always going to come with a 60-day cycle. So before, remember, my trade lines were 30 days. And even though they were great, they weren't good, because if they didn't post within the 30 days, I would personally have to go fucking pay to replace the trade line, even though you've already paid. So there's a lot of individuals where when they hear the prices for trade lines, they flip their shit. Trade lines are not cheap, and it's also not guaranteed to post. So if it didn't post, I would then have to go back and replace that trade line. No one uses Cash App. You'd be surprised how many people still use it, and that's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe for select people, I use Cash App if I really, really feel like I could fuck with you. But yeah, definitely not heavy with it. Yeah, Empress. People still be using it. So yeah, So the trade lines with the personal, please remember, keep in mind that they are only for 60 days. They fall off. No, you do not have access to the money. Guys, I have a fucking playlist on my TikTok. All these repetitive questions that's in my inbox, like, yo, I'm not have time for that. Use common sense also. If somebody's telling you that they're adding you to the account so you're able to use the account information to get what you need, what makes you think that you're going to get a copy of the card? Yeah, you don't get a copy of the card. You don't get access to any of the funds. You're just buying a slot on the person's credit card to then go ahead and use that person's credit limit, age, and everything else to say that you're also a good steward of money. That's what trade lines help you do. So if you know that you have a low credit score, if you don't have enough credit, then you add a trade line, but it's not always required for you to have a trade line, depending on what you're doing also. For example, if you know you're going to buy a car and you're buying the car today, if your money ain't right, don't add the trade line today. Add the trade line closer to when you know you're going to have the money, because the trade line, A, it's not guaranteed to post. B, they fall off. C, you might add it today, and then for whatever fucking reason, I've seen the shit fall off in like 3-4 days, and it's like, wait, but we just added that trade line. So trade lines are very subjective as to what you can and can't do with it. Don't only go for the credit limit. You want to make sure that depending on what you're doing, you go for the age of the account. So for example, like I said, I have a card that is $25K. However, that card was open in 2021, right? Then I have a card that is $23K. That card was open in 2012. If you're individual that is about your money, you're going to go for the card that was open in 2012, because that card is going to make a lot more sense compared to a card that's in 2021. Not to mention, it gives you that whole entire, how many fucking years is that? That's a lot of fucking years. Whatever amount of years that is, that shit looks good on paper. So a lot of times when you hear people say, oh, I have a friend that would always be like, how the fuck you got bad credit, but you be getting everything? And I'm like, you got to know how to fucking play the game. Again, like, I've driven some nice ass cars, and it's not that I was the greatest stewardess. It's just once I learned how to play the fucking game and learn, like, wait, So it's not a flex, especially growing up in the household that I grew up in. It's a flex to work a 9 to 5 and be stressed out, and yeah, you're making a lot of money, but it's like, bitch, you're not even enjoying it. Like, what the fuck? Or, they're driving a nice car, but then no, I'm good. Keep that shit. So once I figured out, oh, cool, so I'm gonna play the game. Or a lot of people are like, oh, it's only white people have. No, it's not only white people that have the privilege. You just never was educated on it. And once you get educated on it, then you're like, oh shit. So I could do this and I could do this. Yes, you could do that and you could do that. You just got to know. Unfortunately, your skin color is always going to play a fucking game, and take it from the person that has dreads for God knows how long. I was always profiled. Bitch, even when I fucking broke my neck and was looking bummy as fuck, I was still getting profiled. And I'm like, make it make sense. But then I remember, you're black in America. So it is what it is. At least my cars, many don't realize to negotiate. Oh, first of all, lazy witch, let's not even go there. You man, when I hear people tell me, oh, you're so dumb, why would you lease your car? Bitch, because you clearly don't know how the fuck America works. You own absolutely nothing in America, if you really want to fucking think about it. And the only way you really own shit in America, life hack. So I said, if I buy land, just know anyone that passes away, I'm burying your ass right there, because guess what, bitch? Now that shit just became a fucking cemetery. That's the only way you're gonna own shit in America, like real life, because I believe if somebody's buried on the land, and again, I'm gonna verify that it still works that way. But I remember reading, I read a lot of random shit, and I remember reading like, yeah, so if this bumbleclot, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't Trump bury his ex on his land or property or some shit like that? I'm gonna verify all this shit, but I remember it was some shit like, yo, that yes, there's other loopholes to get around shit, but being to the fact that you never own anything, hence why I believe home ownership is only like 99 years or some shit, and then if your family wants to rebuy it, they have to do this. Too many fucking red tape. So yeah, bury a bitch on your land from what I understood. I will verify that, and then that's how you'd own the property outright. I like to go nowhere and get cars every 3 years. Shit, every 3, I was doing it every 2.5 years, and they're like, oh, you can't. And I'm like, bitch, I'll pay the difference. Just give me a fucking car. So yeah, that's also why I had to stop fucking with Lexus, because Lexus, they wanted to like do a whole bunch of like other sidebar shit, and I was just like, bro, I've done too many cars with y'all for y'all to be treating me like this. I'm taking my business elsewhere. And that's how I ended up with Cadillac, because somebody was telling me like, oh, do Cadillac, and I was like, that's how black people be driving. And again, I didn't know like the whole shit, because my family's Jamaican, so in their head is BMWs, Hondas, what is that, German and Japanese or whatever the fuck they are. And I'm like, yeah, no, let me go ahead and upgrade my palettes. So when I figured out how leasing really worked, and the fact that, oh, this makes a lot more sense, not to mention if you think about it, by the time you hit that 2 going into like 3.5 years, I have never had a car that didn't start acting up around that time. That's when everything fucking starts to break, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? So yeah, immediately, whenever shit started happening on my lease, yeah, take that bitch back. Only thing that I would honestly suggest with the lease though is the mileage. I always try to work my mileage out to where I'd get X amount of miles, because I didn't want to have to repay on mileage. And then of course, that's when I got really fucking smart. Oh, bitch, you need another car. All right, bet. Go get another car, because at that point you have your beta car and then you have your regular car. And of course, you have to do insurance and all this other shit in Florida. One time I tell you something, that used to just waste money. And let me not say waste money. I spent money how I felt was necessary, but in retrospect, it was like, did you really need to do that? Yes, it won't work for someone who travel. Yes, definitely leasing a car is not for people that do a lot of driving or any of that shit. Like, your lease car is a weekend car. This is why when I hear individuals speak about their luxury car, and I'm like, bitch, you drive it every day. That's not a luxury car. That's your car. That's your everyday transport. My luxury car sits in my driveway, and I know I drive this bitch. I probably used to drive that bitch maybe 3-4 times. It came out on the weekends, or if I was going to an event and I needed to step out and look dapper, then that shit came out. If not, When my father used to fuck with me, he had given me a what is a Nissan Sentra? Bitch, gas was love. And yeah, at that point I was like, oh yeah, we're sticking with this shit. Um, yeah, I think he gave me the Sentra because that's when I was like, yo, I need a car because gas was fucking crazy and all this shit was taking place. And that's what I got now. Bruh, that car was riding. I was like, oh my God, like this is love. Like I wasn't paying fucking $100 and something anymore for gas every 2 days type shit. It was great. But definitely get into leasing. Leasing does phenomenal. Now, would you lease with your CP? No. Again, guys, this is where I need you to use your common sense, right? Because with the CPs, yes, you could go through and you could do the leasing, but with all that fucking paperwork and shit, anything that you buy with your CP, you want to make sure it is going to be something that you're going to own in the long run because God forbid you fuck around and you do something, at least you know, hey, it's paid off or it's completely done with. But it's something to where you're able to maintain yourself even after the fact. Smooth. I never drive anything bigger than a really. I've never driven anything bigger than a sedan. Interesting. So I upgraded to a sedan after the fact, and I was just like, I could probably never go back to a car if it's not like a SUV or a sedan. And even now, I'm like, I'm ready for a truck. Like I'm looking at the Denali's, I believe it is. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at Denali's. I like big body shit. And then it hit me. I was like, I don't think I also want to commit myself back to gas. So I'm slowly but surely, again, weekend car and regular car. Like that's how I'm gauging my life at this point. So when you're buying your trade lines, also guys, you want to make sure that you check the statement date. Let's say you're the individual that needs something immediately. So for example, my statement dates right now are the 1st and the 2nd. So with that, around the 1st and the 2nd is when it'll post for you on your credit line. And of course, once it posts, you go ahead and do what you need to do. During that time frame, all you have to do is make sure that you don't keep applying for credit. Also, once that trade line hits, I definitely suggest go ahead and apply with that institution. So for example, let's say you have Wells Fargo with your personal social security. Do not fucking go to Wells Fargo with your CP. Do not mix the companies, right? So if you know, hey, you have Capital One with your regular social security, don't go and get Capital One with your CP. Do everything that you've never done with your CP. You feel me? So for example, and this is why I tell people, I'm the biggest fucking hypocrite depending on what we're speaking about, because I'll tell you, fuck the Indigo cards, Sky Open, whatever the fuck these cards are, all these mom and pop cards, right? However, for your CP, I'll tell you, yeah, go get that first Premier or first whatever the fuck it is. Go do this, go do that. Why? Because I am expecting that your personal credit was already at a level to where you knew certain cards does not make sense based on interest rates, based on this, based on that. So yes, you could do it with your CP because we are just trying to build up your CP. We're not dumping everything into the CP. You're just building it. You feel me? So you want to make sure that you choose cards that are not already related to your actual social security. Yeah. Yes, people will be selling you all types of trade line because for them, again, it's just a sale. I ask you very detailed questions like, yeah, so hey, I have trade lines with these companies. Do you have any accounts with them? If you say yes, I'm gonna let you know. Unfortunately, I don't have any trade lines right now that would work for you. Being to the fact that you stated you had Wells Fargo. You'll be surprised how many fucking people get mad at me. And I'm like, what? And then they'll be like, oh, you're such a scammer. And I'm like, are you a duck? How the fuck am I a scammer if I'm telling you, yo, you just said that you had this, and because you said you have this, I don't want you to get fucked. So I don't want you to X, Y, and Z. And people literally get pissed off about it. When I tell you can't please people, you can't please people. So that's pretty much how the trade lines essentially would work with the CPs. Again, CPNs are awesome fucking tools. It just depends on how it's used. Everybody and their fucking mother uses it. I am from Miami. Doctors, lawyers, drug dealers, everybody and their mother uses this shit. This is not something that's brand new. However, how the internet portrays it It makes it seem like it's a bad thing. Again, if your CP is not in your name, so if it's not your first name and your last name, that's identity theft. That's fraud. Two different fucking conversations. So when you're gonna go back and forth with people, don't go back and forth with nobody that you gotta sit here and be like, are you dumb? And you say that shit with your chest, because how is it in my name and everything else and you tell me that this is theft or this is fraud? Make it make sense. Also, when you're using your CPs, you're going to treat it like your social. Why? Because you already ruined your fucking social. So you know, hey, all these things I'm not going to do with my CP. You feel me? So tap in if you ever need to raise your credit limit or raise your debt to income ratio. This is where trade lines for your own personal credit would be awesome. Trade lines work for CP and for social. So if you want to reduce your debt to income ratio, add a trade line. If you want to make it seem like you have more credit worthiness, add a trade line. However, add a trade line that has a lot of years. So remember the example I gave y'all. There's a card that is 2012 that is 23K. There's a card that is 25K for and it was open in 2021. A lot of people are going to go for 2021 because it says 25K. Depending on your mindset, depending on what you're looking to achieve, you're going to go for the one that's 23K and was open in 2012, because that's going to give you longevity. It's going to make you look good on paper, and it's going to make you look like you're more credible to lenders. You feel me? Like, oh my God, wait, you've had a card for this long and you have a great payment history. All my cards, by the way, have phenomenal payment history, meaning no late payments, no remarks that are negative, none of that shit. Like, I make sure I vet all the people that sell you their trade lines. I sell my own personal slots. Since I got sick, I haven't sold my personal slots. Why? Again, transparency. So when I got hurt, all my shit fell off. I stopped paying for everything. I would never get up and be like, I'm gonna sell this. However, what I noticed was when I logged into my Navy Fed, I said, fuck, I thought I missed 3 payments. When I looked at the shit, it said I only missed 1. So guess what I'm gonna do? Once I pay that shit off, once I pay off the card, because I think the balance is like damn near almost 2 bands on it. And once I pay that shit off and it's back to a regular limit and I get that late payment removed, I'm then gonna go back to selling that as a regular line. However, I wouldn't sell, yes, you could still sell it, but it wouldn't look good on paper, because the simple fact of now, yes, I've had that account since 2015, but here it is. Now I have this one fucking late payment, and even though it's in the 30-day late category, it's still affected me, you feel me? So I wouldn't sell that to anyone until I fix that credit. Now, for me to fix that, I now have to do the same shit that I'm telling y'all, the verification and reaching out to the companies and, hey, can you please look into blah, blah, blah. Only difference is when they look at my credit profile, bitch, it's there. You can see I've never missed a payment. You can see this is my first time. So they're going to be more inclined to remove my late payment than somebody who's late every fucking month, every other year type shit. Like, you just got to look good on paper. I have a card that's 23 years. Bumbaclot? 23 years? Yeah, definitely don't close the card, and also use the card, but use it to where when it reports, you pay that balance immediately, so that way that keeps boosting your score. But yes, that is a phenomenal card. And even for a card like that, I'll tell you, if you have friends, family, or anybody that's looking to raise their credit, fix their credit, whatever the fuck it is, literally, hey guys, so I got a credit card. Come on, lazy witch. I got a credit card. It's 23 years old, because you got tenure like a motherfucker. And if everything is good on there, so you have no negative remarks, none of that shit off rip. Hey, I have, and again, this if you want to help them out, and also depending on the limit of the card, I would say that card easy, $800-900. Hey, do you want a slot? Or if you want to be nice, friends and family discount. And if they become regular monthly customers with you, then you could be like, yo, for $500 every month, I could keep this running. Or you could do a fucking, give me $500 and you could keep the line on for 2 months type shit. And and reap off of what you got going on. But exactly what I do, yeah, man, get into that. Like, you have the tenure, you have everything, make money off of that. Like, that's the easiest way for you to make money. So anybody that's listening, you have credit lines, sell the credit slots on your credit cards. Easiest way for you to get money in any market that you're in, because everybody and their fucking mother is trying to fix their credit for whatever reason. And of course, set the expectations of you are just piggybacking so that way you can show longevity and credit worthiness. No, you will not have access to the card. Unfortunately, you do have to set that that reference for individuals, because they'll think, feel, or thought like they'll have access to this money. You don't have access to anything. You're just using my credit worthiness. So yeah, once you go through and you do all of that, honestly, you are going to be in a good bank with that. Like I said, leasing the car with the CP, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but I'll lease the car with my social. Can you lease it with the CP? Yes. It's just too much tape. Now, if you're buying the car outright, then that I would highly, highly suggest, because again, remember, it's one and done. You ain't got to worry about it. And you can still go through your process of buying the car, trading it in, and do everything else with your CP. With the CPs also, when you are going to first start off, a lot of individuals will tell you, you could just get any kind of car, any kind of whatever you want. You have to make sure that the profile is built up to support that. So again, if you were to get like the apartment package, the apartment package only has the one trade line and it only has a credit limit of $10,000. What car dealership are you walking into? Like that's how you got to start looking at stuff. So when people are telling you what comes with your CPNs, make it make sense. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you're fucking yourself. You're trying to be cheap, and it's like you're trying to be cheap, but that's you. Think about your CPN as you. If you don't love you and if you don't fuck with you, then your CPN is gonna be shit. You feel me? So yes, you're paying a lot of money, but what are you coming out with on the back end? Because if you know how to run the game and make it work, you could cash out on your CP. You could do everything that you could do with your social. And let me not say that, because then that would incorporate you not paying. But you know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. You feel me? But yeah, apart from that, y'all, that's how that whole entire process is going to work. The trade lines are always going to reflect on your credit within 7 days. If you don't see them on those are the only things that I'll tell you, yo, reach out to me if it doesn't post within 7 days. And depending on the trade line, I'll then ask for another 7 days, because depending on the trade line itself, some of them do take up to 14 days to post. So that'll be the only caveat to that. And of course, there's no extra cost for whenever I have to replace it, being to the fact that those lines are going to be on there for 60 days. So after it reports, you'll have it for 60 whole days from the day that it reports. That doesn't include business days or any of that stuff. It's just going to be on your credit profile for 60 days. After 60 days, it does fall off. If you like to re-add that credit line, you would then go ahead and repurchase it. And I re-add the credit line for you. Rinse and repeat, same process all over again. My trade lines change every month, so it's never going to be the same trade lines, unless I tell you like it's the same trade line. Then that just depends, and my trade line changes based on the individuals that are selling their trade lines. So based on whatever my supplier has, that's essentially what you're able to get. And then of course the people that I know personally. So yes, you might have one this month that might be 10K, and you might want to get that same line. It might not be available next month. Like, they're always going to be changing. What else? Once you go through, there is a recommended lenders list that I would actually send to you once you go ahead and you get the trade lines, because not every company works with CPNs. So that's also something else. When the person is giving you the CPs, are they telling you like, yo, this company might not work, that company might not work? Like, you want to make sure that you ask valid questions. And again, if you don't want to work with me, pay me. I'll ask the people the questions and I'll divulge that back to you. So that way you're able to make a calculated decision and choice as to who you want to work with. But I'll never tell somebody, oh, work with me, because I know my products are top notch, but me also know that my price is a price, and I don't do discounts. Every once in a while, I'll run a sale, but that is very fucking slim. Again, for business individuals, your business, or if you're setting up a business, I would definitely say tap in with our business trade lines. If you know what a business trade line does for you, you never have to worry about anything again in life. If you're the individual that says, hey, I have a corporation or I have an LLC or I run shit through my trust, these trade lines are going to be phenomenal. Why? Because these trade lines are always going to be with your business. So they are permanent trade lines, not like the authorized user trade lines for your personal credit that falls off. The business trade lines are going to stay on your business credit. So for example, I have, it starts at 30K. The $1,000, the 3,000, the 5, and the 10,000, and the $20,000 ones, I got rid of those. Those loans no longer exist. So we have 30, 50, 100, 200, and 300K. They report to Experian, Equifax, and the Small Business Financial Exchange. If you don't know what the SFBF is, then that means that you've never really done shit with your credit and you've never really done shit with your credit. So those are going to be your top 3 bureaus that your business credit report to. If your business is a brand new business, I do not suggest that you come and you spend your money with me, because yes, it will look good on paper, but it ain't going to do shit for you. You feel me? Because a lot of times, a lot of the companies are asking you for verification, especially with everything going on with social media now and people telling you all types of shit. So if you say, yo, your business makes 300K a month, they want to see paperwork that's going to show 300K a month. Can I make you that paperwork? Yes, I can make you that paperwork. Do I want to make you that paperwork? If you really need it, yeah, I got you. However, I really don't, because to sit there and fucking go through, calculate, do numbers, and I'm literally making a bank statement that shows that your business pulls in 300K a month. If you've ever fucking done anything on the computer, you know how long that should probably take. Yeah, so when I tell you right now, I'm out here like charging my worth. I'm charging my worth, because before I used to just be like, oh, give me $100, I'll take it. No, bitch. Now we're real life, like we're locking in and we're doing this differently, because I didn't notice how much time I was putting into like doing a bank statement, where one page, depending on the type of bank, depending on what it needs to say and everything else, that shit would probably take me like 8 hours sometimes just to do one page, depending on what needs to be done and what needs to say on there. You'll be surprised the shit that people be coming to me with. And I'm like, you don't want to do another type of loan or another type of car? Like, can we do some shit that doesn't come with all this red tape? So the people want what the people get. And yeah, so that's pretty much how we're going to be working the business trade lines now, where if you need the paperwork to prove, great. If you don't need the paperwork, that's phenomenal. But when you add these trade lines, it's going to report. Please do keep in mind that it does take 30 business days. So for example, what was it? Someone just told me that there was a holiday, and I was like, what the fuck? There's another holiday. So hypothetically, let's say you bought a trade line today on the 18th, it's probably not going to post until like some time, past the 30-day limit, because you're taking out the weekends, you're taking out the holidays. Now from there, once it's posted, the SBFE, it takes up to 30 days to post. Experian is going to take up to 60. It delivers in 60, but then it could take up to 75 days to post. Equifax reports in 45 days, but could take up to 60 days to post. Once they're posted to your account, those are going to be your permanent business credit trade lines. So at that point, you can do any fucking thing you want to do with your business. Again, just make sure that it makes sense with your business. So if you're 6 months in and you know for a fact your business does like 50K every month, then I would say you could either add that same 50K trade line, or you could add the 100K trade line. You feel me? Because it's going to equal out to where you could show proof for that. However, if your business is doing 10 to 20K, I'm not going to tell you to go add a 50K or 100K trade line. Add a 30K trade line, because it might be a little bit more feasible in when you're doing like your paperwork and shit like that. Um, those are things that I want you guys to consider before you come out with those. So the starter package on the business starts at 3,000. And then the highest package on the business, which is the 300K, starts at 15K. So those would literally all be reported as primary business trade line. And if usual, all I need for that is the business information. So, and if you don't know your business information, as long as your business is registered with your state, you're going to go ahead, hop onto your state website, send me all that information, and then from there I upload that information onto the government website and to like the banking websites from there, and all those will be reported. So again, primary business trade lines, fucking phenomenal. I have 30K, 50K, 100K, 200K, and 300K. All the shit that's 20 and under, I no longer do those. So please, please, please don't ask for it. Yes, we could go over like a quick consult just to like know what package is going to work for you and everything else. But if your business is brand new, this is not going to be something for you. I would definitely suggest make sure that your business is seasoned before you add any of the financial lines on there. And again, I'm only saying wait till you're seasoned or wait till you start to pull in a certain amount of money, because when you're doing, what's that shit called? When you go places, they like to ask for information. They like to ask for proof and everything else like that. I don't mind making you proof, but it's time consuming as fuck. So to offset that, or rather you just come with the proof already, and then I'll fill in where I need to fill in and get everything taken care of for you. So Equifax, Experian, SBFE is all what's going to be reported for your business credit. I also have to find out if Duns & Bradstreet is still a reputable, how do I word that? I still need to find out if Duns & Bradstreet is a reputable, if the Duns & Bradstreet number is like still a thing, because I remember back at, what's up, Fadita, how are you? I remember back in the days, it was like if you get your Duns & Bradstreet number, you could go through and you could check your accounts and all types of shit. So I'm going to verify if that's also still a thing, because then you could go in, check your account history and a few other things on there. I forgot what it is, but don't be paying for the shit. Like, and I also have to see if they still give out those numbers, because I remember they were looking to change it and everything else. So you want to go ahead and just make sure you always check your business history. There's also another site. I forgot what it is. Fuck, I forgot the site. It's Credit something, or is it Credo? I forgot the name of it. I have all this shit hopefully still saved somewhere. I gotta see if all that shit is still active. But yeah, they also give you like a full breakdown of your business. So if I recall correctly, they used to tell you like if you're high risk, low risk, and if you had any like pending situations or whatever it is with your businesses, all of that stuff is going to be listed there. So once I get all that shit back up and running, we're going to tap in with it. But your primary business trade lines, again, they never close. They never fall off. They're not going to disappear. It's a primary business trade line. So yes, your business is going to report the 30K, the 50K, the 200K, the 300K. Yes, now you could go fucking buy that Benz or that Bentley or whatever fuck you want. Just make sure, again, you could pay for it. Please make sure you could pay for it. Same thing with your, same thing with your personal credit. Don't go fucking spending if you don't got the money to support it. You feel me? Like, take it from me. I'm very fucking impulsive. Like, I'm a fucking Taurus, bitch. If I see some shit and I want it, I'm gonna get it. Like, this is why we don't argue it when it comes to prices and people. And it's either I'm gonna get it or I'm not gonna get it. However, majority of the time, I'm gonna fucking get it because I'm a fucking Taurus and because I don't like to tell myself no. So yeah, there's nothing that you can't have in the United States. Again, you just got to know how to make it make sense for you. The business trade lines, that's always going to be a nice blend on any of your fucking credit profile. So imagine you add in 30K or 50K to your business line of credit. What does that equal? More fucking opportunities for you to apply for other business funding loans and programs like America loves debt. America loves to see where money's circulating. This is why we love bills. Like if you don't love paying bills, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, bitch, I loved paying bills. Like, the more money going out, the more money I know coming in, type shit. That was my mindset when it comes to paying bills. Even though there's times when I disliked it as fuck because I'll be on vacation. I'm like, why the fuck did X amount of money come on? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Or my ex would be like, because, and I'm like, I remember that. So that's how that pretty much works. So remember, if your business is brand new, don't do it. However, if you need to buy a shelf corp company, I also got to check. Damn, there's so much shit I got to check into. Self corp companies are companies that you're able to buy and you have the longevity of those companies. So, for example, if you wanted to go buy, if you wanted to buy blackhistory.com and they were open for 30 years, but then their business closed, you could then go ahead and buy that institution's paperwork and everything else. And, you know, whatever it is, now you would then take over that company information. It's kind of like zombie debt, just in a business form. You feel me? So let's say you were supposed to buy a business like that has a tenure, but it didn't have the credit and everything. Being to the fact that it already has the years behind it, then I'm gonna tell you, yo, off rip, hop into like a 50K package or a 100K package, depending on the type of company and what they were doing. A lot of times also when you're buying companies, you wanna ask for the fucking PLR. Bro, you know how much people be out here fucking, oh, I'm da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, bitch, show me your fucking profits and loss statements. We don't need to have no fucking conversations if you can't show me your profits and loss statements. I hear you. I see you. So I'm the bitch where, again, I'm from Miami. So before you tell me something, I need you to show it to me. I've just seen too many shit where it's like, but I thought you said da-da-da-da. And then it's like, oh, okay, no. So profits and loss statements, you always want to go ahead and tap in with those before you buy anybody's fucking business or what is it? Their online stores, shops, all this other shit that you see people be selling. Before you do any of that, get the profits and loss statements. And if you can't get a profits and loss statement, hey, would you like to go to your bank? We could get a whole printout, bitch. Like we got to be able to be able, or if not the bank, what is it? They're CPAs. And I say this because my cousin's a CPA. So guess what? If people are selling their companies and they hit her up, your mom is a hoe. God dang it. Fucking noise. So if somebody's selling their company, they'll hit her up. Hey, can you go ahead and what's that shit that she'll do? She'll do like a portfolio essentially, and that portfolio is gonna break down everything that the person's ever done while they were with her, and it has literally profits, loss. It has the shit that she puts together for them is literally like a fucking textbook, and you could flip through it. You can see, oh damn, so their company, you know, liquidated this, they did this, they did that. Like she gives a full breakdown. So you want to see something like that before you jump into buying other people's companies, because if they don't have that report, then that means that 90% of the time they're just bullshitting you. And you're going to end up with a fucking, you're going to end up with a paperweight of a fucking company. So you don't want that. When you're buying any kind of business, especially these online stores where the Shopify stores and all these stores, please be careful also when the person, look at when the person made their millions, hypothetically. I tend to look at that a lot. If it was during COVID and all this other shit that was taking place, you and I aren't having a conversation, because everybody and their fucking mother, depending on what you were doing, if you took advantage of certain things, I know for a fact you took off. You feel me? And then if you didn't take off, it's because you either had poor management or some shit, or you just didn't know what the fuck you were doing. However, I hope you learned from that shit, and then now you're coming back and coming back better type shit. But please pay attention to all of that. What else? If your business is, what is another thing? Oh, these little cards that they're telling everybody to get, because I saw somebody ask a question on if they should get the, like, what is it? The tier 1, tier 2 cards and all this other shit. Yes, those are great for your business. However, it's not needed. So a lot of people will run out and they'll go get Home Depot, Lowe's, gas card, fuel. Again, people, when I say people, I used to be people bitch, because when I first started my first business, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to go get this card and that card and bitch. After I did my first two businesses and, you get with the right people, it's like, oh, shit, no, I didn't need to get with white folks, bro. Fuck that shit. Because the black people, yes, I've had good experiences with black people. However, majority of my shortcomings have been from them fucking me. And it's like, why the fuck did you want to fuck me when I'm trying to help you type shit? So, yes, I've had black folks that I've had great relationships with, and then I've had the ones that fucked me. Majority of my non-fuck has come from other people from outside of my fucking culture and my skin color, and I'm grateful as fuck for that, because that's how I was able to learn all the shit that I'm able to learn and be like, okay, so that works and that doesn't work. Don't use your own personal money for anything that you're able to do. And when I say that also, that's when you're future dating your plans. So if you're starting up, yes, you want to go ahead and put your money into your business. There's no business that you're going to run that you're not going to spend money on ads. Again, get into the mindset or the idea of, I am spending with the idea if I'm not going to get a return. So if I got a return, fucking phenomenal. If I didn't get a return, fucking phenomenal. It's still great. Trust me having a cleaning business taught me, A, nobody fucking reads. B, nobody fucking reads. C, nobody fucking reads. Because a bitch would call me and be like, oh, what would they say? Hey, do you clean blankets? And I'm like, bitch, this bitch just sat here for fucking 3 days making a Google portfolio, and you didn't read through the portfolio. And then guess what? Google now just charged me $35 for a bitch to ask me if I clean their fucking blankets. Can you imagine how pissed off? If y'all know me in real life, I'm a fucking character, dog. Because in my head, I'm like, pussy, you just called me for fucking asking me if we clean blanket. See the fucking list? Like, this is literally real shit how I be speaking. And not to the customer, essentially. But when I'm speaking to them, it's like, yeah, so we don't clean blankets. And then my ex used to be like, you can't say it, like, why the fuck not? You're calling me for service and it's on the website. So now, yes, I'm frustrated and I'm pissed off because I'm not about to go pay $35 for this fucking lead. And even though Google back in the days used to give you the option to like dispute a charge, these bitches will find every reason to say, oh no, the person did ask you about cleaning. Yeah, but I know you heard them say blankets. So yes, they asked me about cleaning, but they also said blankets. Like, that's how much I used to fucking go back and forth with Google. And then sometimes they'll give me back the money, sometimes they wouldn't. So any business that you're starting, I don't give a fuck what it is. Get into the idea, if you want to make money real quick, run ads, period. That's literally how the fuck you're going to be able to make a lot of money in a short period of time. Ads are a lot of money, yes. However, if you optimize your ads, you'll have a better outcome. How are you going to optimize your ads? You're basically going to test multiple ads. So personally, choose fucking 2 to 3. See what gives you the better conversion. Run it. I would say, some people say 5 days. I say run the shit for fucking 7 days most, and then see what happens during that time frame. And then go ahead, the 1 or 2 that perform well, then you go ahead and you keep rerunning those same ads. You feel me? So that's how you want to go ahead and jump into the aspect of making your business great again. The more people that fucking see you or see your business, the better it's going to be for you. For the people that's saying, oh, you know what, I don't have a skill, I don't have this, I don't know how to make money, bitch, let me not say I don't have a skill. I have plenty of fucking skills. The problem is I just be all over the fucking place. Like, yeah, my ADHD works very well in my favor whenever I lock in with it. And then outside of that, I'm a clusterfuck. You feel me? So again, when I speak, I'm speaking from I am you and you're me. And if you can't fucking align with me, then at the end of the day, they're legit shit. There's something with you and not necessarily me, because at this point, I'm like, yo, I literally have put myself in positions to where I'm able to speak to every genre of an individual, regardless of whatever fuck you've gone through, because I purposely have put myself in these positions. And it's like, what? Prime example, yesterday we were laughing with the girl that I did her CP, apparently right after I got out of the hospital. And I said, bitch, you trusted me? And she was like, who the fuck else was I supposed to trust? And she was like, you know what really made me trust you? I remember you said to me that you did crack one time with a crackhead and a crack guy. And I said that? And she's like, PG, you really be out here just, and I'm like, you know what, Ash, I fuck with you, because for me to have divulged that to you, that means that you and I, A, got really close, B, you fuck with me, C, you fuck with me. And the fact that you're gonna say, like, because I was able to be transparent and vulnerable with you, this is why you fuck with me, I appreciate that. Like, shit that I real life thought people used to judge me on is the shit that people actually love about me, and I'm like, ew, that's ghetto as fuck, but I fuck with it type shit. So yeah, learned a lot. But speaking to her yesterday showed me, like, going through the process of starting a business, because for her, I was telling y'all that she got her CP when I got hurt. So what's that, 24? It's now 25. She just went and she got her apartment. So for her, it's, yo, I don't want to manage it, but you're good with Airbnbs. I know you've done Airbnbs. I need you to go ahead and handle that. And I'm like, that's not my speed right now. Like, I'm trying to be in the streets. You feel me? So looking at that showed me, like, okay, damn, there's still people out here that's really trying to get from point A to point B. However, they might not have that back end. And of course, she was also one of the people that's like, yo, you need to talk about credit every single fucking day, because yeah, you want to talk about other shit, but credit needs to be, or credit and CPs needs to be the end all be all, or the start of whatever it is. So when you lock in with stuff like that, because she had went and she was going to buy someone else's portfolio, when I'm looking over the person's portfolio, being to the fact that I've done Airbnb for fucking God knows how many years, immediately I was like, hey, so that's a red flag, you know, based on how they're reporting their numbers, especially during summer and summertime and like December and shit like that. If your numbers aren't bussing on Airbnb during those times, that basically tells me that something is wrong with you essentially as a host, not necessarily, or something's wrong with you and your location and everything else. And again, keep in mind, there's certain states where no matter what the fuck is going on, you're always going to have the best ratings no matter what. And you're like, how the fuck? So be careful of that, because certain parts of Miami, certain parts of New York, all those places be shit on fucking wheels, but yet they're having it rent out for like some crazy fucking prices. So if you're going to jump into the Airbnb business, it's definitely lucrative as fuck. You just got to know, like, okay, hey, it's going to be work, because you're going to, again, you're promoting yourself, you're promoting your business, you're promoting your location. Once all that is tapped in, you start making money, what I would suggest, take that shit off of Airbnb, create your own booking site. So all the individuals that gave you like your highest ratings and shit like that on Airbnb, set up a fucking sidebar thing with them. Why? Because you guys already have that trust. You feel me? So now here it is. Whatever profit you were given to Airbnb is not going to be in your pocket, because you are locking in with that. And I wouldn't suggest doing Google ads for that. Honestly, I suggest your Google ads for your service-based businesses, especially service-based businesses. If you guys are interested, someone told me to do like a challenge to like start your business in 30 days type shit. So I was actually thinking about running that back. However, I was thinking about running it back and start back up a cleaning business also. However, this time it'll be fully 100% remote, because my last cleaning business, Atlanta's fucking shit. When I tell you everybody and their fucking mother be asking you for a fucking job and never showed up, bitch, when I tell you I wanted to fight so many people, it was fucking crazy. That's where I also got fucked with the first set of like Black people that I actually fucking worked with, because in my head I was like, oh my God, I just made it to Atlanta. B, wow, they're actually like, oh my God, we want to work with you and we love working with you, and oh my God, you're a female in this industry, and we don't have a lot of females, da. And of course, me being me and using my discernment, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So anyways, money talk, da. And basically how the cleaning contracts work was, this specific contract was like $5,000. And I forgot where the fuck we had to clean. When I tell you, like, our cleans were crazy as fuck. So it was a 15,000 square feet fucking building, 2 of them at that. and it was a gymnasium also attached to it. So that shit was just big as fuck. And this man ended up, after I done paid, I think I ended up having 3 cleaners, a forklift, and something else. Like I fucking had to break bank on that fucking job. This fuck boy literally sat here and did not pay us. And then of course, you know me, bitch, you got one time. I got all his business information, took that shit to the city. They said, oh, you got to pay. I think it was like 100 or some shit. I don't care. File the fucking paperwork, ho. Don't fuck with me. And I think like a couple of months later, I noticed he went and changed the name of his business. I am not the one, because I will definitely run your whole pockets for you. But yeah, that was my interaction. I was just like, never the fuck again. But here it is, you know, for me, that was like, wow, so you're black and you're fucking me. And this is why I'll always say I've had the worst experience, because again, for me personally, I've never had a good experience to where I wasn't getting fucked or I wasn't losing money or any of this shit. And it's just like, but why? And then what's crazy, I'm like, but you came to me. Like, the fuck, I'm not calling and asking for nothing. You came to me, you offered me the service. I said, yeah, you know what, we could work with you. Everything else like that. And now for you to fuck me? Yeah, no, I'm gonna fuck you even better. Go ahead and close that bitch down. So yeah, there's that. Also, please pay attention to people that report their businesses with what is that? What is it? The Better Business Bureau. Oh my God. So because my company name was BBB Cleaning, bitch, do you know how many fucking calls I got daily? Oh, we have to complain about, this is not BBB. This is a cleaning company. Oh, it was on the website. You weren't searching. You weren't searching. You probably just typed in BBB, and the first one that came up, you hit call. Unfortunately, this is a cleaning company. But yeah, the Better Business Bureau, they're trash. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked into it, and again, because I was you or you're me, I was like, oh my God, I got to get you registered with the Better Business Bureau because da 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 da. I think at the time it was $800 and something, or maybe $600 and something for you to pay to register. And it gives you, I think it gives you like, I'm not saying it doesn't have its perks, because again, it's kind of like when you join these sororities and all these whatever, it gives you those extra perks and extra leverage. But again, you're paying for everything. Every fucking thing in America, you're paying for it. Like, get it in your head. The more money you're willing to spend, the more shit you're going to be able to partake in, essentially. So yeah, once you pay to get into the Business Bureau and all this other shit, they send you out whatever plaque or lanyards, and you know, you become a part of that. Honestly, instead of joining the BBB, I'd say go join your city council. I think it is your city council, or your city, whatever it is for the businesses. If I'm not mistaken, I believe every city has that. If it's not small, I don't believe it's small business, and I don't believe it's SCORE. And these names might be different based on where you live. But is it the small business chamber or chamber of some shit? Whatever the fuck it is, find out what it is that's in your city. Join that, because that's going to give you a lot more leverage. Not to mention, your city does a lot of like shout outs and parades and all of that shit. So that would be phenomenal for people that are starting up, especially if you're in the service industry. Tap in with those people. Like my cleaning business, bro, I was eating, and especially because we were 24 hours. Again, my problem was niggas don't like to work. Black, white, Spanish, and nobody fucking like work. Everybody loves money, but nobody likes to work. And that's where I started to have a problem, because it was like, yo, y'all are asking me for jobs. I'm giving you jobs. Why are you not showing up? So there's days when legit shit. Oh, by the way, the houses in Atlanta, I always hated it, because I'll look at the house and I'll be like, ain't no fucking way this is only 3,000 square feet. Why the fuck is there so many square feet, and why is there so many floors? So imagine doing a top-down clean. So a top-down clean would be from the start of your banister all the way down to the floor. So all this shit is getting cleaned, your walls, your windows. Oh my God, I used to love those fucking, bruh. I'm talking about real quick, $1,500 easy. Problem, time. So once we started offering like a full top down, and people are like, oh shit, you're 24 hours. That shit was phenomenal. But again, you run into the nobody wants to come to work, all this other shit. When I joined the city, it was like, hey, so I haven't, oh, don't worry about it. Let me make some calls. That's when you start to really fucking network and people start to like really tap in with you. And then the best part, when you're with the people that's actually in the city of chambers or whatever the fuck that section is called, because they have to keep their reputation good, they're going to make sure that they take care of you. So you never have to worry about getting fucked over or any of that shit. And 90% of the time, you're gonna find businesses in there also that people are looking to exit. So those old school plumbers, HVAC, all of that shit, that's where the fuck you want to go buy your businesses from. You feel me? Because they have, bruh, one dude had what the fuck is a ledger? And he would literally sit there and write everything by hand. Every Friday, I used to go and just go sit down with him and we would drink. He would buy, this is how I really fucking got into whiskey. He would buy, what is a Chinese, it's a Japanese whiskey. It's $100 fucking bottle of whiskey every fucking Friday. And we'll just sit there and we would pour. And while he's doing that, I'm playing my little video game and we're talking about whatever fuck we got going on. But that was the only individual that I ever saw month to date. Yes, I still see people that do shit, but he writes everything down. I'm talking about every fucking thing, from down to the fucking penny that he spent at the gas station. It was written down. Like, I'm talking about ledger his whole entire life. And I'm like, wow, you are very detailed. I don't have that type of dedication. I mean, I could possibly get it, but that wasn't my speed. However, that is a person's company that I know for a fact I would ever buy, because the simple fact of he's going to have all the documentation. He's going to show me a profit and loss statement that is going to be fucking probably through the roof. And at least I know, hey, you know what? This is actually really good information, because I don't have to question if you're actually making this money or if you didn't make the money. It's all on paper. And on top of that, not only is it written, but he's providing you with the shit from his CPAs. He's providing you with the shit from his bank. Like, get with people that are seasoned, get with people that are well endowed, and get with people also where you know when they're speaking to you and they mean you good. Like, if you just know, like, certain people legit shit, they'll speak and they talk up a good game and da-da-da-da. Bro, the ones that I personally noticed, the ones that are short, direct, and to the point, I want to fuck with you more than anybody else, because at the end of the day, you're not fluffing nothing. You're coming raw, uncut, and you're telling me as it is. And it's up to me to then go ahead and say, you know what? I'm going to go with that information, or I'm going to go with this information. Somebody also hit me with this question right now. Hold on. All right, kid question. Do I leave my job to start my business? Fuck no. So, look, man, one thing I can tell everybody, my exes used to get mad at me. And I said my exes because when I tell you I was ADHD like a motherfucker, but I maintained all three of my relationships. I maintained my child. I maintained going out. I maintained shit that I needed to maintain. This is why when people say certain shit, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Make time. 12 hours? What 12? What is 12 hours? Bro, time is what you make it. Do what the fuck you need to do. So here it is. I'm like, damn. Yeah, now we're going to have to figure out how the fuck we're going to tap in and do all this plus work. So don't leave your 9 to 5. That's the dumbest shit that anybody could ever tell you. And when I say that's the dumbest shit anybody could tell you, I still know people that are multimillionaires that still work their fucking 9 to 5. You feel me? I have worked my 9 to 5 while I was making money. However, I was always a salaried employee. I'm not got nobody's job to go fucking do clock in, clock out. In the beginning, yes, depending on the type of job. And again, I had to get smart about it, because when I first started in corporate America, my job right out the gate was fucking me working at the hospital. And I hated it. I loved it, but I hated it. It was a lot of money. That's when I got the true, oh, damn. Okay, so this is what 9 to 5 feel like. Okay, cool. So at my age and in our little clique, I was the only person where every 2 weeks I was pulling a $3,500 check. And while they're like, yo, and I'm like, no, bitch, I want to be outside with y'all. Like, I want to be having fun. So at that point, it was like, okay, cool. That was great. once I left my family's like house, because when it comes to my family, it's either you're going to be in a medical field or you're going to be in a medical field, or hey, would you like to go and be in a medical field? And it's like, fuck, when you look at all of us in that little trajectory, we are all started somewhere in the medical field. So when I left that and I figured out, oh shit, there's other things outside of the medical field, that's when it became a, oh, wait, pause. So you can actually get rich off of this. You just got to be smart about it. Or you could be well endowed, but you just got to be smart about it. So then that's when I figured out, oh, if you want to keep your 9 to 5, I'm going to say get into some form of management. And when I say management, not like, fuck, get into a management role that gives you flexibility. So don't get into a management role that's going to have you stuck to the fucking job and you're like wanting to unalive yourself because you're burnt out, you hate everybody. Just no, get into management positions that's going to make sense for you. So any position that's going to give you salary, hop into that position. Why? Because that's always going to make sure that you have a job, you have some form of end game, some form of something at the end of the day. You feel me? Don't ever fucking leave your job just to be like, you're going to go start this side hustle, unless you know that you are able to bet on yourself 1,000,000,000%. And unless you know that you have other people that you can fall back on. So if you have a great home situation, a great life situation, whatever the fuck it is, and you're able to leave your job, by all fucking means, leave the shit. However, if you don't have the means or the opportunity to do so, don't do it. That'll be the dumbest shit for you to do. However, use that money, build up your business, build up whatever it is that you need to build up. Like, think of everything as being long-term, more so, think of it as you starting off the words, like, just in case this happens, then I'm able to do that. Also, depending on how long you've been at your jobs, LOA, bruh, LOA, take that shit. Short-term disability, take that shit. Like, do what you have to do to keep your job, worst case scenario, especially if you're getting tired of it. What is it called? A sabbatical. There we go. So depending on the type of job that you have, and depending on your tenure in the company and everything else like that, some companies do allow you to take sabbaticals. Take your fucking sabbatical, bro, and go do everything that you haven't done before. As an individual that had this death experience, when I tell you I don't question anything, I literally just go with the fucking flow now. And it took me forever to get to this point of not questioning shit or just doing shit off rip. And it's like, okay, cool. So again, for me to get to this level, I had to have this experience. Don't have an experience, or don't wait till you have an experience for you to want to live. Don't wait till, some shit happened and you're like, oh my God, great, let me now go ahead and get my life together. Like, don't do that. That's unnecessary as fuck. Start to live now. Start to do everything now. So that way when you do get to certain areas later on, you're not, worried or stressing or struggling about certain things. So yeah, definitely just keep all of that shit in mind. Like, I probably didn't over talk to y'all damn near for almost 2 hours at this point, I believe. Oh shit. So yeah, man. I really love tapping with y'all for today. We are still gonna be live on Favorite and on Twitch. So Kick and YouTube, I'm probably gonna end up disconnecting from y'all, and who I'm probably also gonna disconnect from. I'm probably also gonna disconnect from both YouTubes. We're probably just gonna be on Twitch and Favored, and also we're disconnecting from Kick. So wait, did we cover today's topics? Watch, we probably didn't cover today's topics. Knowing me, we probably didn't cover today's topics. I wouldn't be surprised. Because she told me to start with credits. Credit. Can you go over your credit rates? What credit rates? See what I'm talking about? I don't have credit rates. I'm not understanding your question. What do you mean credit rates? Like the credit limits? So yeah, y'all, we're definitely going to connect, and we are going to come back on all of these great aspects of life. But Yeah, hold on. All right, I think it's gone. All right. So, I'm using the wrong mouse. What I'm going to end up doing is I'll probably end up coming back later. We'll finish up the rest of the conversation because we just spent all this time speaking about credit and CPs. I'll go over the credit limit. So we weren't speaking about credit limits. I was breaking down the cost of the credit packages that we have and the different expectations for the credit packages if you wanted to trade. And the trade lines are going to fall off for your primary credit, and then for your business credit, the trade lines, those are primary business trade lines, so they stay on your business credit. So those trade lines are 30K, 50K, 100K, 200K, and 300K, and those range from the lowest I have right now is like 3,000 all the way up to 15K. So depending on what you get, based on the credit line that you're looking for your business, that's how that would work. If it's for CPNs and Social Security, those trade lines are not permanent. They do fall off. And those trade lines, they are 60 days. So for 60 days, you'll have the trade line on your personal credit or your CPN. Again, CPNs are not bad. It's just based on how the F people are telling y'all to use them. If you can't shop with me and you like for me to verify the information from the person that you're buying a CPN from, come fuck with me. So you're paying me to basically be your middleman initially to start it. I'll tell you what I feel about the situation or what I feel about the person. It's up to you then to use your discernment to go shop with them. And like I said, ask questions. So when you're buying your CPN, hey, I want to go buy a car. Is this going to give me the opportunity to buy a car? If they say yes, then I expect you to follow up with, okay, cool. So what type of car can I buy with the type of CPN you're going to give me? Anybody that's not trying to fuck you, they should be able to say, hey, so if you get this CPN and this CPN only has a $10,000 credit limit, don't fucking send the person in there to go buy a $30,000 car. You feel me? That's how problems come up. So you want to ask specific questions and make it make sense. If they tell you, oh, so it's going to be a CPN that has, like a $20,000 limit, then at that point you say, okay, cool, that might work out for me. If not, you just want to make sure that they're going to give you shit that makes sense to where you're not going to end up screwing yourself in the long run. Also, don't automatically off rip because you get a CPN, pull up to fucking BMW or Benz. Bro, go to a fucking, what's that shit called? I call them mom and pop dealerships. You go to those dealerships and find the ones in your area that has the nice cars that you want, and you buy from those places with your CPN. Not saying that you can't go to Honda in these places, but when you're going to Honda with a CP, that means that you've had your CP for 4 or 5 years. That means you've put money into your CP. That means you've worked the fuck out of your CP. That means your CP looks like your social security number as to why you're able to then walk into Honda and cash out. You feel me? If you know that you didn't put building blocks into your CPN, don't fucking go into nowhere because that shit then is going to look like a red flag. If the CPN's not in your name, that's identity theft. That's fraud. Okay? If you're going to get into the CPN game, bitch, you got 3 profiles, you need 3 phone numbers. None of your information should ever match. So yeah, until I hear people speaking to y'all like this about the real way how to use CP, I'm never gonna say, yeah, you know, these people are credible, blah blah blah. Like I hear people say, oh, come through and get approved for an apartment. Same thing with the fucking apartments. Yeah, you can get approved for the apartment. However, please do keep in mind that once they go through and they do the apartment approval, there's still people on the back end that check that information. You feel me? So the last thing you want to do is put anything on your apartment shit that wouldn't be related to you, if that makes sense. So just make sure whatever you're doing with the CP is always going to be something to where you're able to then back that information up. If you have to put it like this, if you have to question it, don't do it. If you can't get another number for your CP, don't do it. If you can't get another address for your CP, don't do it. If you can't get another what's that shit? Another actual housing address, don't do it, because you don't want anything that's gonna mix and blend in with your CP ever. What is that? How can I get a business loan? It's not a business loan, it's business credit. So what I do is, based on your business, I add trade lines, primary business trade line to your business. So for example, if you have a business that's a year old and you want a 30K trade line for your business, you would contact me. I'll sell you a 30K trade line. The trade line reports to Experian, Equifax, and SFBE. And of course, they take up to it starts at 30 days up to 75 days. But once those trade lines are on your business, it's going to report, and it will show it'll show on there until you have the life of the business. So until you close your LLC, that's when that information is essentially going to go bye-bye. But if you never close your LLC, you're pretty much in good standings. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. And of course, if y'all have more questions, tap in. Damn, I did not see the questions on Kick. My bad, y'all. Can you add somebody to the trade line? So if it's your own personal credit cards, yes, you can add people to the trade lines. That's on your own personal credit card. However, if you're buying a trade line from myself, then no. You would basically be buying two trade lines. So you'd buy a trade line for you, and then you're gonna buy a trade line for that person. If it's your own credit card, then yeah, you could add whosoever you want on that. Do I get access to the money? What money? So remember, it's showing that you have the credit. So you're not getting the money. You're getting the credit line. So okay, imagine that this is $100 and you didn't have the $100 and I gave you the $100, but you gave me $10 type shit. That's literally how I could explain the trade line. You never had it. I'm giving it to you. I give it to you and you have it for 30 days. After 30 days, I take it back. And then you have to pay me another $10 and then I'm going to give you a trade line. That's how that works for your personal credit and for your CPN credit, because those are authorized user lines. However, if it's a personal credit line, then yes, it would work the same as the business, because with the business, it's 30K. You're paying me whatever amount of money, but that 30K line is gonna stay there permanently. So that 30K line is never gonna go anywhere. Until you decide that you're going to close your business, until you decide you're going to do whatever, then that's when the 30K line goes away. But apart from that, it stays there. We have 30K, 50K, 100K, 200K, and 300K. And of course, I'll tell you, based on the amount of years that you've been in business and based on your profits and loss sheets and everything, that's how I would tell you to buy your business trade lines. I wouldn't tell you to be a brand new business, not producing a certain amount of revenue, and then start off fresh with, 50K or 30K out the gate. Like it doesn't look good on paper. However, if you're like 6 months to a year in, based on what your company is doing numbers wise, then yes, I would say go ahead and add those trade lines. But apart from that, no, I wouldn't suggest you to add it. All right. So y'all, I'm gonna definitely connect with y'all. I love y'all very, very much. We've definitely chopped it up. I need to go feed myself and break my fast. I will be back, and I don't know when I'll be back. I need to take a nap and shit like that. We've had a very intensive conversation today, so I definitely appreciate y'all. Wait, credit, does my credit state? Yes. So the business credit, again, you're it's a permanent primary trade line. So you're paying for the, let's say this is a trade line, you're paying for the trade line, we add the trade line, when we add the trade line, it stays on your business credit permanently till you close your business. However, um the trade lines for your CPN and the trade line for your credit, those are going to fall off in 30 or 60 days. So the trade lines that I sell, they're good for 60 days. So you have that for 60 days. Again, it shows credit worthiness. It shows that you're really good with money. It shows just everything that's great. Um, if it falls off before the 30 days, then you pretty much like let me know. Those are the 30-day trade lines. So even those, I'm stepping away from those. So if you do get a trade line with us, your trade line's literally all gonna last for 60 days. After 60 days, you pretty much repurchase that trade line. Um, yeah, that's pretty much how that process would work. Yo, I missed all the questions on Kick. My bad, yo. I'm working very diligently to get my setup back to what it was. Split view makes it easier. I don't want to split view. Okay, maybe I should do. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay, all right, back to. All right, how about this? I'm gonna take a break. And when I get back, we'll venture into questions. My brain's running its course. Yeah, it's running its course. So we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, what's good, Shui? How are you? So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna come back with y'all later. Let me know what outro for a song. So our song selection for the outro is either a song that I made. Oh, by the way, guys, I made 2 more songs, and when I say I made them, y'all already know. I did my little 1-2-1-2, but I'm super excited with how that whole music career of mine is going. We're going to tap into that probably when I get back. So we are going to end it with, or rather, we're wrapping it up with probably a script. Y'all be down for the script? Let's do the script. Script. Yeah, my brain it's getting tired. We have to just take a night real quick. A quick night. Excuse me. All right, so do we want to do break even? Break even. Let's do break even. Fall into pieces. Thank you all so much for fucking with me today. Like, I greatly appreciate all of you. Pause. I just noticed it says 42, so let me grab some food and I'm gonna refresh myself and everything and probably hop back in with y'all maybe like around 8 or so, and then later tonight we'll just probably have like a chill live type shit. I'm also trying to bring that back. Open discussions with love. I'm definitely trying to bring that shit back to start back our group conversations and everything. If y'all didn't know, that is on, fuck it, at this point it's probably going to be on all platforms again. But yeah, basically that was where we had our group discussion on TikTok, and that would be like a panel, maybe like 6-8 people just going in and giving their advice, relationship, life, all this other shit. So working to bring all of that back, and then also working to bring back our lunch dates and our movie dates, because people apparently love that. So yeah, all the shit that I used to do that people used to love, I'm slowly but surely coming back with it. And she said, play one of your music. Okay. All right, so how about this? We listen to the script and then you can listen to my music. All right, bet. All right, let me pull that up in the meantime.
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just praying to a God that I don't believe in. Cause I got time while she got freedom. Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even. The best days were some of my worst. She finally met a man that's gonna put her first. While I'm wide awake, she's no trouble sleeping.
What the fuck?
Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even. No. What am I supposed to do when the best part of me was always you? And what am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up and you're okay? I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. They say bad things happen for a reason. But no wild words gon' stop the bleeding. Cause she's moved on while I'm still breathing. And when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even. Oh, and what am I gonna do when the best part of me was always you? What am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up and you're okay? I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. When I'm heartless, so it don't break even. Oh, you got his heart and my heart and none of the pain. You took your suitcase, I took the phone. Now I'm trying to make sense of what little remains. Oh, cause you left me with no love and no end to my day. I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just praying to a God that I don't believe in. Cause I got time while she got freedom. Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break. No, it don't break, no, it don't break even. What am I gonna do when the best part of me goes? What am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up and you're okay? I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. Don't break even. Oh, it don't break even, no. Oh, it don't break even, no. Oh, it don't break even, no.
All right, so here's a song that I actually created. So it's called Green Eyed. And I named it Green Eyed because anytime, what was it? Somebody was like, yo, you notice when you get upset or pissy, your eyes change color. So the whole idea is green eyed for people that are always jealous of you, but don't know how to tell you that they're jealous of you type shit. So hopefully I'll fuck with it. I'm definitely getting deep into like house and like emo rap and shit like that. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Wait, should we do the emo rap? No, it. No. Do we want to do no house shit right now? Let's see. That's not it. Hold on, Linda's. Hold on. Green eye.
Yeah. Watch me now. You keep my name in your mouth like it tastes sweet. Talking so loud in the crowd, but you want me. I see the side I glance, and my good day fit. Same old fake little smile when I walk in. You want that shine, you want that fame, you want my way, you want my name. Hands in the air, eyes on me. Jealousy burns, but I stay free. Green eyes, green eyes. Watch me move. Green eyes, green eyes. Lose your cool. You can't touch this, no. Can't dip my groove. Green eyes, green eyes. I'll outshine you. You post your shade online and delete it fast. Try to write my fall, but your plans won't last. I built this from scratch with my own two hands. Now you bite that lip while I feel the sand. You want that shine, you want that flame, you want my way, you want my name. Hands in the air, eyes on me. Jealousy burns, but I stay free. Green eyes, green eyes. I stay moved. Green eyes, green eyes. Lose your cool. You can't touch this, no. Can't dip my groove. Green eyes, green eyes. I'll outshine you. Go ahead, talk your talk. It just feeds the fire. Every little lie you drop lifts me higher. I don't turn around. I don't lose my pace. You stay stuck in envy. I stay in my place. Green eyes, green eyes. Watch me move. Green eyes, green eyes. Lose your cool. You can't touch this, though. Can't dip my groove. Green eyes, green eyes.
That's fire. All right, try. So yeah, this is what we be doing in our free time. Yeah, we be out here. Literally, yes. My homeboy's like, "Yo, this is what I did to your mix. Like, I made it sound better." And I'm like, "Did you?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I definitely made it sound better." So I appreciate everyone that's tapped in with me for today. I'm gonna be back later tonight. What the fuck was our conversation today was supposed to be about? That would have been a great conversation for me to pull up hours ago, huh? Click. Yes. No. No. I think today's Thursday. So today we're supposed to speak about business and outsourcing and shit. This is why I also didn't want to start every day with fucking credit, because credit be running the conversations like 99.9% of the time. So I got to figure out how I'm going to better manage that whole entire interaction. Go back up. Come on. Say consultation outsourcing tips. All right, perfect. So I think Thursdays is probably going to be like a shooting the shit and chop it up day, and tips and tricks and shit like that. Y'all got a bunch of tips and tricks for credit and CPs and everything else like that for today. So yeah, we're gonna tap in. We're gonna do some more great shit along the way, but hopefully y'all got a lot of additional bars along the way today. But overall, I love y'all. If y'all know what, I'm more than likely gonna say on TikTok. I'm sorry. Not TikTok. I'm gonna say on Twitch, Favored, and probably Kick. I'm not sure yet. with the other forms of YouTube. But yeah, if y'all are on those, tap in with me still. And yeah, I love you. See you guys in a couple of hours. And I hope you had a phenomenal day. And thank y'all so much for tapping in with me. I love you. See you later. The brain is braining. End stream. Yes, I want to end the stream. End stream. Bro,